broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge sanctioned by the U.S. government.
Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Wake up! Why haven't you learned anything?
On that, I want to jump to another topic because it is related, as I talked about. When Forbes did the article, and forgive me, I'm gonna have to find out the name because it was a great article, and I may even post it down in the section below this video. Great read. It's a real quick read for anyone that can check it out. But this is where we're gonna kind of talk a little bit more directly about conspiracies. But I think over the last few weeks, a lot of things happened that should make us scratch our heads a bit. The fact that you had everyone having to be at home over a virus that the last time I still checked, according to the Centers of Disease Control, it was still like a less than 1% chance that you would die from this virus. Yet the whole world has been shut down. Everyone is told to wear a mask. At first, the masks weren't really effective anyway because the particles of the virus could exit out. But then they say, hey, get them anyway. And then all of a sudden, everything jump off with George Floyd. He gets killed, which, you know, I don't want to compare tragedies, but we've actually seen black folks get killed and worse. And that gets jumping. The very fact that I've had some loved ones pass away over the last few months, and to hear about the funeral arrangements, how difficult it is to have a funeral for your loved one now. You are limited in size. Sometimes there's even a question on whether the body, you should have an actual funeral or have it cremated, have the body cremated because the coronavirus could still be in the body, etc. But George Floyd passes away and we have it in 3 different locations. Even though you social distanced at the funeral, but you still had 3 different funerals for him. And of course, we know everybody ran out into the street. They got masks on, but they all ran out into the street to protest. And yeah, people did say, you know, are we gonna see a spike in coronavirus cases? But if the people were so scared of dying, and we talked about a little bit ago, will white folks and brown folks be willing to risk their life to protest for black folks? Certain things have just happened over the last few weeks, y'all. And when I start just connecting the dots, it just don't make sense to me. Mark, I can't have no better person lead this one off than you, Scooby.
Dog, I don't see it. I don't see it the way that you put it. I see it as all of this makes perfect sense. If you look at this from a conspiratorial perspective, you say regardless of whether we believe exactly everything that we're being told about George Floyd, because, you know, I have questions with that myself, but it couldn't have happened more perfectly. You have all of these protests going on across the country. From my organizing background, how do you organize to have that many protests jump off just like that, right? Number one. Number two, you have a scenario where we have everybody in the house, and if you're going to go out of the house, you have to wear a mask, okay? So then you have this violent murder, or what we've been told is a violent murder, and people are hitting the streets with masks on. It is the perfect scenario to tear some shit up. I'm like, they couldn't have planned this better in a 1984 novel, and yet nobody wants to see it that way. I'm not saying that George Floyd, I always have to, you know, just put a asterisk mark out there, because I'm saying I'm just somebody who doesn't always believe everything as the way they tell us. They tell us what they want us to think. They don't necessarily expect us to outthink them. So when I bring out certain aspects of this video and the protest that came after it and how it spread and all of that, and I have questions about it, I'm not supposed to have questions about it. But to me, it just looks too perfect. I don't, that's why I have a problem believing that this whole thing is legitimate. I mean, it's several aspects of it that I will not get into right now, but you know, me and you have had this discussion and I just have several problems with it. It looks too perfect to me.
Let me play this real quick because I think it just adds to it, and then we'll jump to Corey, whatever you had to add. But let me just play this video real fast because I think that it is kind of something that really supports the head scratching. This happened early on with the protest. Who is this guy?
Oh, that's the one. Dude, okay, wait. Hold it.
Oh,
I've seen that
Wait.
video.
Okay, wait. Deb, that's the one. That's the one I wanted to actually. Okay, look, here's another thing that we have to understand when these type of things jump off is that they use cold colors. There's been a lot of people who have talked about in a lot of these protests in different cities, you see people wearing pink. Some people have theorized that there's 3 colors that you should be looking for, because when they have these 3 colors, one is, I think it was orange, black, and pink. If they're wearing those colors, it's supposed to be, those are the people who are the paid agitators. If that's the same guy that I saw, because somebody was talking about a guy carrying an empty pizza box. Why is he carrying an empty pizza box? If you're delivering a pizza, you're not going to carry it sideways. On the other hand, if you delivered the pizza, you're not going to be walking out with the box. So
wait. So hold on. So you're not even touching necessarily on the dude with the umbrella. You even pointing at the dude with the pizza box.
dog, okay, first of all, like I said, when you dig into the conspiracy world, understand, like, for example, you go back to the JFK murder. Why was there a guy out there with an umbrella? That guy was a part of the assassination. People don't want to talk about that. There's a lot of hidden stuff in that JFK. And when you look at all these little hits, whether it might be the Las Vegas shooting, it might be the Boston bombing, it might be the shooting at the gay club in Orlando, all of these little things, when you put them together, it's like this stuff that you scratch your head, that doesn't make sense. So why is the pizza guy carrying an empty pizza box? If he's delivering a pizza, number one. Number two, if you delivered the pizza, you're not coming back with the empty box because you delivered it.
All right, let's see what the dude did.
Let's see it.
You know, I went off about this dude, whether he a paid agitator or not. I'm like, is this the alpha that we got fighting for the black community now? This the dude that we got that's gonna rough somebody up?
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, you know where I'm going.
He swallowed that pizza. That's all that did.
Man.
So
That's a good point. I ain't never even look at him like that. I was always
Mark, you brought us a new one there.
Okay, I'm saying, but this, let me just say this, and I'm gonna pass the mic on to somebody else. I'm just saying, I'm not even prepared to have this discussion because I didn't prep for this, but there's a lot of little minor details that we don't think about when you know how when you first see something, because me and you, Devin, we watched the video for the first time, and whenever you see something shocking, there's your thinking cap just kind of freezes and you don't see things that you would notice when you watch it again with fresh eyes. Like, everybody remembers the first time you saw September 11th and you were so shocked and your thinking stopped for a minute, right? So this is what I'm seeing every time. You always see little flaws that make you ask, how is that possible? I see it all the time. Anyway.